Hey lovelies, Larissa J here and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. Make sure that you stop what you're doing and subscribe. So I wanted to share with you guys my experience using reusable pads. Let me give you the initial background. The first time that I heard about reusable pads was more like, I would not do that, no thanks. And I just kind of forgot about it. However, in light of everything that's been going on in the world, I remember one time in particular, I went to Target. I knew my cycle was about to start. And so I just kind of wanted to, look at the inventory that they had in the store as far as disposable pads, because that's what I tend to gravitate towards. I'm not a fan of the tampons. When I've done those, it gave me cramps. So I was like, we ain't doing that no more. So I don't like the tampons, and I'm not a fan of the whole menstrual cup disc thing that I know is like a thing right now. I personally like to be like as natural as possible and allow my body to do what it is meant to do without any extra. So I personally prefer the pads. A lot of stuff was off of the shelves, as we all know. It's not that I didn't have any, but it was just the idea of, what if it got to the point where there wasn't any more? Fortunately, that day I didn't need them. I had what I needed, but I just thought like I should be prepared. Let me consider trying another alternative. That's how I came across the reusable pads. And so I figured I would share my personal experience and just to provide the information, because I do realize that to me, I feel like it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world that many people are still uninformed in. And so I want to share that with you today. So what I did was I ordered some cloth pads from Amazon. I'm going to link the ones that I use in the description box. So make sure you take a look at that if you're interested. But the brand that I went with was Teamoy. The reason why I chose that particular brand was I saw that they offered 10 reusable pads. A lot of other companies offer like 6, 4, and I wanted more for my money, right? So they were pretty reasonably priced considering what you're purchasing. But yeah, so I bought the ones that offered 10. And so I'm actually going to show you the ones that I have and kind of explain how it went for me, because I did use these for a full cycle. So when you purchase them online, it comes with a wet bag. And mine is obviously full because I have all of my cloth pads in here right now, but it came with a wet bag. And so inside the wet bag, when you open it, it has like this material that is really good for wet products. So what a lot of people do is once they use a pad, they'll fold it up, and I'll show you about that in a minute, but they'll fold it up and they'll put it in the wet bag part. It also has another pocket right here. And like I said, like for me right now, I just use the wet bag as storage, just to store all of my pads. So I want to show you what they look like and kind of answer some questions that I personally had when I was looking into this whole concept. So first off, the first question is, what do they look like? What do these reusable cloth pads that you speak of, what do they look like? So I'm going to show you, I have 3 different sizes that were provided in the kit that I ordered. So the first is the panty liner size, which looks like this. This is how it looks folded up. And so when you unsnap it, this is the panty liner size. Okay. Relatively thin and short in size, essentially pretty much like a regular panty liner, maybe a little bit bigger, I would say. But very absorbent and very, very comfortable. So this is the panty liner size. Then there is an average, like medium, moderate flow, which looks like this. And when you unsnap it, it looks like this. Okay, so this is the moderate flow, medium, I would say. And so when I compare the sizes here, you can see this is the panty liner, and this is the length of the moderate. Okay, so it does have a few more inches. Then lastly, they also provide a overnight size, which looks like this. And when the overnight size, when it's unsnapped, it looks like this. So this is the largest size, the thickest size, and it's honestly not that thick. Like not uncomfortably thick, I want to say. When I measure up the sizes, this is what they look like. So you have your panty liner size, your moderate size, and then your overnight size here. So as you can see, the biggest one obviously is the overnight. So with the Teamoy, you get 3 of these, you get 4 of these, and then you get 3 of the overnight. As far as thickness, what I believe they did here is with the panty liner, it would be like 1 layer on the inside of absorbent, the sheet of absorbency that they use, 1 line there. And I believe it said like bamboo and charcoal. When I was reading up on it, that's what they use, the materials that they use for the absorbency in their layer. So this would have 1 layer, and then this would have 2 layers for thickness, and then this one would have like 3 layers for thickness. I will say, guys, these are super absorbent. Okay, so let's talk about the next question. We talked about what they look like. So how do they feel? Are they uncomfortable? Oh my gosh, do they look like a diaper? Do they feel like a diaper? No. So I have obviously used all 3 sizes, and they do not feel like diapers. They are actually very comfortable. When I like I said, I use these for a whole cycle. So from day 1 all the way to day 6, I think I had 6 days. Yeah, from day 1 to day 6. I've used these. I used all 3 sizes, and that's the only thing that I used throughout the entire cycle. And they did not feel uncomfortable. They did not feel like a diaper. They did not look like a diaper. In fact, I would say it feels super, super comfortable, like a marshmallow. Okay, maybe not a marshmallow. You know what I would see? I would see a lot of people describe it as a pillow. And to be honest, that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like your lady bits have a pillow, and that's really, really comfortable, really soft, really comfortable. There were some times where I didn't even feel like I was wearing anything. So that tells you a lot. Sometimes I forgot that I was on my period because these were just so comfortable. They are super absorbent. There's another question. How much do they absorb? They absorb a lot, guys. And if you want me to do like a demo for you, I can show you like how absorbent they are, but they absorb a lot. There were so many times where I would check and look when I would go to the bathroom, and I would be like, oh my gosh, am I on my period or not? Because I don't really see anything here. But then when I would go and wash it out, there was some stuff coming out, right? So it's just like, wow, these are so absorbent. And I think that was what was pretty amazing to me, was just like wearing them all day, knowing like I didn't really feel anything. I didn't really notice when I would go and check. I didn't really see anything on here. So that was pretty interesting. They're very, very absorbent, and you don't feel the nastiness. For me, it didn't feel like I was sitting in anything. It was very, very absorbent. And so I felt like dry and clean and fresh, and it was great. It was awesome. I've seen a lot of people ask the question, does it smell? I personally don't deal with smells in general, but when I was wearing these, there was no smell. Everybody's different. I don't know how that would go for other people, but for me personally, I didn't have an issue with smell. With the cleaning out process, like I said, if you want me to do a demo on that, I can show you exactly what I did. But the way that I did that, as you know, I told you I got 10 of them. And during the duration of my cycle, I used 11. So what that means is I did reuse. Obviously, they're reusable, right? So I know that there are some women that said that they, like, once they're done, they rinse it off, fold it up, and put it in their wet bag to wash it on wash day. I didn't do that. So what I did was the moment I was changing and I was no longer using the current one that I was wearing, I would rinse it out in cold water, rinse everything out until the water ran clear. And then once that water ran clear, then I would get like a bar soap just to clean this part, just clean it off. And then I also use like a Dr. Bronner soap, and that didn't take long at all, but I would also use a Dr. Bronner soap to also just kind of clean everything. And then I let them air dry. So I would just lay them all out and by a window where the sun could shine on them, and then I would just let them air dry. And then that way, if I needed another one, and let's say I went through all 10 of them, like I did, I went through all 10 of them, then I already had some that were like clean, you know, because I hand washed it. So I did hand wash mine, and then after the entire cycle, after all 6 days were complete and I didn't need them anymore, then I took all 10 pads and I washed them in the washing machine, and then I actually dried them. I don't know if you're supposed to dry them or not, but I dried them, and I didn't have any issues. As you can see, they look like brand new. So yeah, it went really, really well for me. A disclaimer, I will say, while I did have a really, really great experience using these for a full cycle for a full 6 days, I did use other things. For example, I used a bidet, and I'm going to do a video on that. You can click this link so that you can get information on the bidet, but oh my goodness, the bidet was amazing to work in conjunction with my cycle. So that I think helped a lot too, because with those two things combined, I just felt really, really clean, like so clean on during that time, which is an awesome, awesome thing, to be able to feel fresh and clean all day just by using those two products. It was also it was a normal cycle for me, but I didn't have any really super heavy. I never really have super heavy days, but I didn't have anything like, you know, really heavy. And I think I can contribute that to a tea that I've been drinking. So if you want to know more about that tea, comment below and I can do a video reviewing that as well. But I think with the tea, the bidet, and the reusable pads, it just made for a beautiful period. And it's not every day where you can say it was a beautiful period, let me tell you. So I just wanted to give you guys my personal review. These are the Teamoy reusable pads. I had a really, really, really great experience with these. Didn't really have any issues. If anything, I would say I've seen some people complain about them sliding around, I guess depending on the underwear that you are wearing, because this is waterproof. So there's no leaks, guys. I didn't have any leaks. It was amazing. Not even at night, no leaks, no nothing, which was great. But some people did talk about, because of this material back here, sometimes they kind of slid around for them. One thing that you can do, one thing that I did with that was I have like period panties, like literal period panties, like panties that are meant to absorb, and you can wear those by themselves. I don't wear them by themselves, but I would use those to kind of like support. So essentially like 2 pairs of panties, but it kind of holds everything in. So because I do that, just using the period panties as a backup, because I didn't know how these were going to go, but having those 2 pairs of underwear on kind of helped these stay in place. So I didn't have any issues with the sliding, but I do know that that was something that I've seen other people talk about. So that's just a tip. But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. I had a super great experience with these. I definitely intend to wear these again. I don't intend to buy disposable pads on the regular like I used to, because these are awesome. I do plan to buy more of these and maybe try other brands. And if I do that, I can let you guys know. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more things on this topic with feminine hygiene, if you will. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.